my name is Lisa Grace and this is Nailchemy's YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. So I've already applied my tip and I've done my nail prep and my ultra bond, and I've already laid down a very thin clear base because we're going to be using some quite strong colours. First one I'm going to be coming in with is Myrmicorn, which is just beautiful. I do like this one. I don't think this one gets enough attention, if I'm honest. So just open it for me, thank you. There. So I'm going to be covering the whole nail in Myrmicorn, because why wouldn't you want a full nail in Myrmicorn? I mean, look at that. Oh wow, beautiful, isn't it? Fabulous. Right, so I need to make sure that has set a little bit before I start coming in with my petals. And for my petals, I'm going to be using titanium. Or shall I use lily? I think I might use lily. Let's use lily.
Is that the one that you used on this finger?
On the lava lamp, yeah.
So what's the difference between lily and titanium then?
Titanium is a metallic powder, so it's quite shimmery. It's really beautiful. But I'm just thinking, because we're working on a rough surface, titanium might be a little bit tricky. So I'm going to start working on the outside of the flower first. So on the outside of your flower, your petals are always going to be bigger. So I'm going to start off with a fairly large bead of lily. And I'm going to split that sideways like so. And then you're always going to be working with your brush towards the centre of the flower. So when you're happy with how that's looking, we can start pressing this out. And I'm going to turn my brush while I'm working. And as you squash that, what you'll do is you'll expose the colour coming through at the bottom of those petals. Like so. So as you can see, you can actually see where I've squashed. I've squashed in those 3 zones, and what that does is it kind of creates a bit of a ripple effect in your petal. So I'm going to go for roughly the same size bead. And I'm going to pop it down here. Again, take that off in that direction, take it off in this direction. Let it set for a couple of seconds, and then we can repeat the same process and start squashing it out. So obviously our brush is now pointing towards the centre of the flower from over here. Don't worry if your petal comes over the edge, it will file off. I'm going to get another bead about the same sort of size. I'm going to place this here. Now this one's going to start wrapping around, so I'm going to start bringing that in front of that one. If you do really struggle using your brush in different angles, what you can do, you can always get your client to flip their hand over so that it makes it a little bit easier for you. So I like lily. It's got a really good consistency that I can place my bead down and start working with it almost straight away. I find with a lot of other white acrylics that sometimes they need to settle for a little while, need to let the bead sit there for a little while before you start working with it. If that's the case, if you do find that you are waiting a little while before you can work with it, what you can do is just drop a little drop of acetone into your monomer and it's just going to speed that process up a little bit.
Hello?
Right, so what I've done there is I've just connected this petal onto that one just to make that petal a little bit bigger. Try not to have your petals directly opposite each other. Try and off-center them a little bit. Right, so my beads need to start getting a little bit smaller now. So I'm going to pop one here. Same again, split that this way, split it that way. And then start pressing that out. I love that myrmecorn just poking through. Right, so what I'm going to do now is this petal that we've got here, it's already started to come in and create a spiral for us. We've got that spiral, so obviously all of our petals are going to be creating a spiral. And this one, we've actually got a nice start of that spiral. So what I'm going to do, now this bit takes a lot of practice, centre of a flower. I'm going to pop my bead there. I'm going to take most of it off in that direction. I'm going to flatten that bit onto that petal, and then with my brush and a point at 90 degrees I'm going to come through this and just create a bit of a spiral. So just with the very, very tip of your brush, you're just going to come through and create that spiral, and that's at 90 degrees. So now we've got that, we can come back in, and our brush isn't so flat with this section now. We're not patting it down so much. We're just going to kind of start picking this out a little bit. Really should have put my glasses on for this. I say this every time. I say this every time. So you've got a little bit of time to work with this. So we can press it down, kick bits up, but just get that spiral in the middle. Now if you're really, really bad at this and it all goes wrong, don't worry, because you can just add some crystals or some caviar beads, whatever you want. But I'm quite happy with that. What do you think, Sam?
Oh, that's pretty. Oh, what's the blue for?
I'm thinking I might add a bit of shadow just behind the flower. So we're going to have a go. So we've got Vision here, which is a dark blue, but it is quite glittery. I'm just going to be using very, very small amounts of it. And this again is just to add a little bit of definition. So literally a tiny amount like that. I'm not even going to drain the bead. I'm just going to pop that in the corner. And then just blend that out a little bit. And it just adds a little shadow. And I'm going to do this most of the way around the outside of the flower. You see how it just creates a little bit of a shadow. Try not to get it on your white flowers though. You don't have to do this. If you're happy with your flowers as they are, then leave alone. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But I think it's just going to add another little splash of colour in there. And it's blue, and I love blue. Can't go wrong with blue. Last little bit in here. Oh, do I leave it or do I keep adding more blue? Maybe a little bit of blue in here. What do you think? Just behind a few of them.
If you do that, you might lose your myrmecorn that you were really happy with.
I'm going to try it teeny a little bit, because you know I can't leave things alone. I like to push things a little bit too far. So teeny tiny little bit in there, and you're literally just going to whitewash it out with your monomer. Oh, I like that. See, it's like the tiniest difference.
Because you can still see the myrmecorn behind it.
Just the tiniest difference. And it is only a small little bit of acrylic, and you're not draining your bead. You're not wiping your brush, and you're just going to wash that out. Look at that.
It's just given that flower a new lease of life.
Just a little bit more depth. Right, so I need to wait for that to set a little bit before I come in with my clear acrylic, and I need to make sure that I have got fresh monomer. Because we have used Lily is going to cling to your brush, and your coloured acrylics and your glitters and your strong pigments, they're all going to cling to that brush, and every time you go into your monomer, it's going to stain it. So we want fresh monomer. Right, so when you're capping a flower, I mean, there's no reason why you can't do your nail, build up the thickness and then do this on top. Completely up to you, but I want to encapsulate this. So I'm going to get small beads of clear first, and I'm just going to put them on and make sure that we're getting in and behind all of these petals.
I quite like the fact that you're encapsulating it, because I find very often when you do these lovely flowers, if you leave them on the top, they do discolour with everyday life.
Well, obviously it's white acrylic, isn't it? So even plain white nails with a gel polish or anything like that, they're going to discolour over time. So a lot of people do like to have their designs encapsulated. So we are all filed up, and I've given this a little buff as well, ready for top coating. Oh, I need to wipe over with acetone, don't I? So using the Nailchemy apple acetone, which smells divine, on my not so lint-free wipe. Oh, I love it! So using the No Wipe top coat. I'm glad I added that blue, you know. I think that was a really nice addition.
Now it's dried and you can really see it.
Yeah.
Oh, when you put that top coat on, it really does pop.
Yeah, so that's gonna, I'm glad we used that mermacorn in the background, just that little bit of glitter. There we go, right, pop that in the lamp for me, please, Sam. And I'm going to finish off with the banana cuticle oil, which we all know is my favourite. I love this one. I need to order some more. And give that
to get the banana.
Give that a rub in. And there we go.
So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Don't forget to give us a little thumbs up, hit like on that video, drop any comments that you've got down in the comment section below, and more importantly, make sure you hit subscribe so that you get a notification for all of our future videos. All of the products that I've used today you can find on our website, which is nailchemy.co.uk, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!